Hello and welcome everybody. Happy anniversary, 30 years of Pokemon as a franchise, as a game and everything. And we're in the 30th anniversary special event that's going over the course of this week and a super duper amazing weekend event. But we're beginning with our daily adventure egg, which is usually cataclysmically awful. And this is no different. Thank you very much, game. In the bin you go. So, I have not cleared out my storage after the whole crazy weekend of Go Tour, but we've got a brand new season of Memories in Motion, which brings some changes around. Spotlight hours are rip in pieces. They no longer exist, which I think is a shame. A lot of people enjoyed those events, and it was no harm having them running from 6 to 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. Now we've got showcases, but pressure rising. This leads to a Volcanion encounter for free, and any of us who did get the Volcanion as part of Go Fest last year will only get candies, so bear that in mind. And we'll begin with another Fennekin that's not a grey one, and 421 CP. So today, all that's spawning, I think, is Kanto. Kanto spawns. There are some field research tasks to chase, which, no surprise, give you the starters from Kanto, and another one will give you Pikachu or Eevee. So you'd be the judge of whether you want to go for those research tasks. I don't think anything is shiny boosted in this event as far as I've been able to work out, but we will have a little grind today and see what we can get. It's basically just a return to the first generation. However, the weekend looks more spicy because there are spawns of everything in the game, including potentially legendaries. Roaming legendaries are coming for the event, which is really cool, and the Ultra Beast is going to be back in the 5-star raid. So yes, let's just see what's available. In fact, weekly challenge, there we go, we're making some nice light work on that, good stuff. But of course, let me know in the comments below your thoughts and feelings of this event, and are you chasing anything particularly? Because Kanto is Kanto, it's been here since the beginning. I will say we got a shiny Chansey yesterday from a random research task, and we've got a little bit of catching up to do regarding the final million raids we did on very early Monday morning. Thanks everybody who continued to chuck either remotes, RSVP invites, and allow me to spam in through the friends list, because when it comes to the raid game, we did manage to pick up a couple more of the shiny Honedge, but more importantly, we did pick up from Film Vlog's invite a second shiny background Yveltal, which I was ecstatic about. That is another spare available for a lucky trade. We got ourselves a Shadow Shiny Lugia, which didn't have the background, unfortunately. That's just a crying shame. Another Yveltal shiny, no background on that one. We did, however, pull in a background shiny Origin Dialga, but as you can see here, it doesn't have Roar of Time. And that's unfortunately got repeated with a second one of 2271 Ironhead once again. So you can see the RNG reroll was a bit tough on that one, but I think one of the best pulls was this, a shiny 98%, again from Hawaii, I believe. Might have been Film Vlogs once again, or another RSVP. Yveltal delivered. So the Yveltal I pulled on through on that Monday morning, and ironically I think the best raid section I ever experienced in that whole Go Tour event was the 100 or so remotes I did after midnight when the event had concluded here in the UK, of course. So that's weird RNG, but February's Go Pass is done, March's Go Pass is now active, and of course we have the Kanto 30th anniversary one, which will lead eventually to an encounter with Mewtwo for free, I will add. The free pass gives you the Mewtwo, the first stage encounters. If you want more encounters of things, which can be shiny. The biggest change of this new season, Memories in Motion, is, in my view, evolved forms. If the base form of it is available as a shiny, all parts of its evolution line can be shiny in the wild as well. And that is a monumental change, because it means it's actually worth clicking on things like Dragonair for once. We won't be able to get this done today, unfortunately, because obviously there's limited points, so probably tomorrow or Thursday will be the day. So right here we've got 3 spin 5 stop tasks. I want to just see what we're going to get from them. There's interesting a Magikarp. I didn't see that listed on LeakDuck's little infographic. I just misread it maybe. 117 of course can give you both a Hundo and a 98 depending on the stats. Okay, this is just a Carp. If all 3 are Magikarp, right, there's a task for Magikarp then. Spin 5 stops. I don't know if it's just Magikarp. I've seen lots of rare candy tasks, lots of silver pineapple tasks, so silver pineapple's not the worst thing to get, but I definitely think it's time to put the daily incense on. Let's go for a 30-minute blast on that one, and then we'll Roar of Time for a bit. It's been a while since Roar of Timing Daily Adventure Incense. I got a Galarian Articuno on white screen. Let's see if it's blue. No blue. 1998, non-boosted. Good to see a G-Bird. It's been a while since having one, but I'm going to check my favorite article. All the way to the top, Galarian Articuno, 1998. Unfortunately, 1949 will give you only a 2.5% chance of a 100%er. So we know what we got to do, people. We have Free Shock down. I usually run Ice Burn, so... Oh my god, I've really messed up my throw there. Straight out, I deserve that. That was a horrid throw. Silver Pineapple, thank you very much. Not that my bag is completely full anyway. Okay, I made a bad right now. I didn't realize, of course, new season, new month means that there's no daily adventure incense bonus active. So it's only 15 minutes for now. And I didn't roar off time in time. Haha. So we've only got 20 Pokemon. One of them was a Ditto though, and incidentally I do need to look at the new Ditto disguises. I think Cubone is one of them. So that's that. Ciao to Mateo. But on the note of Ditto, the thing I'm more excited for is this time next week, which brings the Pokopia crossover event, which brings in 2 costume Dittos to the game to chase. So I'm very much hyped for that event. We've actually got a whole load of information regarding this month's content. So we know that there's a replay water type research day in the latter part of the month, which is interesting. It brings back the first 3 featured Pokemon from research days, which were the early days of 2019, which was Feebas. Remember, that one was horrid back in the day. Clamperl was actually a bit of a blast. That was a good one. And Lotad was structured more like we have a Catch Mastery event, where it's all tasks for 8 hours or something were Lotad, and then Castform was a new shiny in the wild back in the day. That will be interesting. Plus, we know Scorbunny is March's Community Day, and we have the Bug Out event, which brings in the Gen 8 bugs. I forget their name exactly. Is it Blittlebug or something like that? And Shiny Sizzlipede, which is going to be a good one to chase. So there's some good stuff coming up in March, to be honest. Let's claim stage 1 of Rising Pressure. I remember my Volcanion wasn't exactly the best. We claimed ours actually in New Jersey while we were in the park experience back in the day. You can check out that video if you haven't done so already. Go past, of course, we get ourselves a Dynamax something. This time it's an Abra, which I think is pretty bad. We got ourselves a Chikorita, which is not a shiny. I do want to get more points for this. We've done maximum number of points apparently for that. So let's go through and claim, if it will let me, Bulbasaur, not a shiny. Charmander, not a lovely golden one. Squirtle, not a shiny. The Caterpie, we do actually have a Shundo of that. The Weedle, which anybody who got that Beedrill tutorial thing for Mega Energy, Master and I got ours on the plane before we left LA. A Rattata that's not a green one. A Spearow, I haven't had the shiny in a fairly long while, to be honest. Ekans, we've seen that one fairly frequently. Good old Pikachu, had some okay luck with that on the weekend, but it's rare these days that you get a Pikachu without a costume. And of course the Sandshrew. I'm not kidding, I literally just turned the camera off, and the next check, Spritzy shiny. We had one of these actually while we were on the beach at Santa Monica. Never got one for Global. That's a really nice one. I think it's a Spritzy Nest, that might be why. 480 CP is 1 star, but it's nice to have that as our first shiny of Memories in Motion. I've never had a lucky one. God, I've never traded them. I was just about to go to Black Sheep and I thought I'll check the raid radar again, and very little in the way is hatching before 12, which is not ideal, but you can see that this, I think, is Leaf's hat we just had in the road to Kalos this time last week. This was the Kanto day. We also have Red's hat. Never got the shinies of these. Are these back in 1-star raids for the week? I'm gonna jump in and remote it because it's all the way at the station. There's also some very exciting news which should be announced this evening by the time you see this video, which is confirmation Mewtwo is returning to raids for the in-person Go Fest this year in Tokyo, in Chicago, and Copenhagen. I'm assuming it will be coming for global as well. As well as that, confirmation that the mythical Pokemon that will be featured for those events is Zeraora. Francesco will be beside himself with excitement because it's his favorite Pokemon. The electric type mythical, which should be, when it gets its Mega, the best electric type bar none in the game. So very exciting. Unclear whether we'll get the Mega Energy to do it, but I'm sure we won't, considering it's so new. I think all other details regarding park experiences, some spawns and things like that, should be available now, so you can check those out. We'll dive into those at a later time because I have very limited runtime today to do bits and pieces. So Pikachu from a raid, not a shiny. Good to see this thing back, to be honest, if you missed the Kanto day, that is. Of course, these won't have the chance of a background, but that's absolutely fine by me. The other thing I'm going to make an observation of is, I don't know whether it's just me, but I put Spatial Rend on now, and there's supposed to be spawns everywhere for Kanto, including evolved forms, and I'm seeing a distinct lack of spawns in general. Like, there are so few spawn points at the moment, it's unreal. Of course, a few Pokemon that were already here, but in total with Spatial Rend, I saw about 6 Pokemon featured, where, you know, this is a park in a busy city and all that sort of stuff. We should see quite a few more. It's a bit of a weird one, to be honest. I'm wondering whether it's just a lull period or whether it's that thing of the events getting going. Sometimes the first day of the event is compromised. Sometimes it's the best. Who knows? Now I've got my pistachio latte beside me. I thought I'd just quickly go through, if you're not aware. So During the course of this week, as we mentioned, it's basically just Kanto in the wild. I've finally seen some evolved forms like Hypno and Eradicate. They do have a shiny potential as of now, which is really nice, but the weekend, or rather should I say the extended weekend from Saturday through to Monday, is where it's going to go crazy, or all out as they're describing it, because the wild encounters, you'll be able to encounter almost all Pokemon in their natural habitats that have made their Pokemon Go debut, and most Pokemon that have ever appeared in Pokemon Go will return. This does not include mythical Pokemon, Ultra Beasts, or certain species of Pokemon that are not normally found in the wild, including the following. There's the list of things you will not be seeing in the wild. Some of them make sense, obviously, like Smeargle, Kecleon, and Shedinja, very, very rare and exclusive. A couple of other things. I'm very surprised that Giratina is in there. Giratina is a legendary Pokemon, so I'm not sure why that's listed, but Scatterbug, Larvesta, Volcarona. If you hadn't had enough of the Pikachus in raids, then every single hat is making a return once again. And your 5 stars here include the legendary birds from Kanto, the Deoxys only in its normal form, Darkrai, Genesect with no drive, and then all the Ultra Beasts in their various different regions. So personally, I'll be going for a bit of circuitry action, I think. Very, very nice to see. And then your eggs are going to include every single baby Pokemon from 2 kilometer eggs, which is great. While I'm waiting for a Pikachu raid to hatch, I would like to say a big thanks as always to those of you who support the channel, the content, and myself as a creator, allowing me to do this full-time via Patreon. Everyone on the rolling credits here is key and critical to us being able to do what we do here and go, well, let's say sometimes balls to the wall for an event, and going to the live events and covering as much of the game as we possibly can do, and pushing on and trying to get creative with things. I really appreciate all of your generosity. It does go with the extra mile. It allows us to do so much more with the channel than we otherwise would be able to do so. So all of you are instrumental. Thank you very much for your continued support, and thank you to all of you who've hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you for watching. And I thought I'd also take the opportunity to say, if you haven't done so already, please go and give a download and a listen to episode 264 of the Incense podcast. It's the live show we recorded this just over a week ago in Pasadena from the Rose Bowl with a whole bunch of wonderful creators and a whole bunch of wonderful trainers who dropped on by where we were sat on the benches by the food trucks waiting for people to bring their best shinies and their caches and things like that. It's one of the brilliant live shows, so I'd really appreciate if you can go give a download. And there's new episodes every single week. In fact, we're recording 265 tonight. While sat still, we've managed to do a little bit more kilometers, so we've ticked off 2 of them. I don't know how. It must have caught up with me and lags, but we get an encounter in page 2 for a Magneton. They're probably still a 1 in 512 or 518. That's not 100%, but it's absolutely fine. So we get a claim, some Ultra Balls and some Stardust, which are great. Fantastic. And Professor, what you chatting rubbish about to me? Okay, pressure. I honestly thought there'd be time gates for this sort of thing, but maybe there isn't. Evolve and power up water types and catch 30 different species. Luckily, if you get to that stage during this event, that shouldn't be a hardship. But here, we can claim Precious Pals and get that ticked off. And it's a Bishop, which obviously would have had a shiny potential as of now, but I like seeing it. 3 star, not too shabby. 16 seconds until the Pikachu hatches. And I got to win 3, follow 3 routes to get that one done. I didn't realize it was not the final stage, but hey. Of course, Memories in Motion seasonal bonuses. Now the 2 special trades per day has gone, but it's coming back as part of one of these weekly/daily cycle things. I can't remember which day it is. Is it Friday that gives extra trades? One of the days per week for this whole season gives 2 special trades. So it's not the end of the world, but 2 special trades per day was a really nice daily bonus. Now it's guaranteed trade XL. So if you've got all of your catches from Go Tour and you want to get, for example, Horlucha XL candy and all that jazz, you can trade them with a friend, boost your candy, because eventually that will get a Mega. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Mega Horlucha sooner rather than later, to be honest. 516. Again, shout out to Cookie Rage, who got us, it was over a week ago at this point, the Red Hat Mystic Background Hundo from a remote invite, and this is not a shiny. Glorious. And I'm going to conclude today's video right here because, to be honest, after the Go Tour weekend, I'm still a little bit Pokemon Go'd out. I'm still burnt out already from the weekend, despite having yesterday to kind of take my mind off the game and actually just not be on my phone, which was a nice break and whatever. But let me know if you're the same. I'm going to take this week a bit more chilled before the weekend actually gets going. It should be very exciting. I wanted to finish today with a bit more Kanto goodness. The Hundo LA Dragonite background we got from the Mega Knight, it is now a tier 4 Mega. As you can see right here, it's super max level, 5k Mega Energy was spent, but I do want to put it up to level 50 because it's a lovely background 100%er. from Kanto. That's called have added to the total. And we could put it to best buddy, but what I definitely need to do is to go through my storage. And I've still got a research stack. And I've still got a research stack to claim as well with all costume Pikachus and God knows what from the tour and the road to Kalos. So let me know your thoughts and feelings on the 30th anniversary event, because it's good to have Kanto back in my view. Like, you know, it's a week-long event and there's a massive weekend coming. The idea of putting legendaries in the wild is very good. I haven't seen head nor tail of them, but I've got to be honest, the spawns seem not bad. It's just like the spawn density seems to be terrible. And that's not even compared to the last week, that's compared to regular gameplay. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this piece of content, and if you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below and sticking around for plenty more. And I need to work on my final video from LA. There's something good coming later, hopefully this week. If you want to see more stuff, check out the videos available here on the screen. There's some really good stuff, and I hope you continue to enjoy watching. But I will say, until the next time, peeps, do take care.